I took this photo when we were visiting my wife's mom and stepdad in Missouri over the Christmas break, and they had these two green candles on their dining room table for several days. And I thought they were just decorative and they were unused, they were brand new candles. And I didn't think much of it at the time, like for the first couple days of us being there. I mean, it occurred to me that it might be interesting to take a photo of them, but I didn't want to ask if they could light the candles. Like, what if they were decorative and they were keeping them in brand new condition? Like, I didn't want to make that call, so I just sort of I observed them as candles and didn't really think too much about it. And then they lit the candles. I believe this was for dinner on Christmas Eve. They lit the candles and we had dinner. But before we had dinner, as things were getting ready and the candles were lit, I thought this would be a really cool opportunity to take a close-up photo. I don't think I have any close-up photos of candles like this. And because I have my macro lens and we had a little bit of time, I thought this is it. Like I'm gonna get in and take close-up photo of these candles. Except I didn't know what kind of close-up shot to do. Like I didn't really know how close I should be to the candle. There are two candles. The title is Christmas Candles because the second candle you can't really see. You see that giant blur on the left hand side. That is the second candle. It's about maybe 2 or 3 feet away. And if you click into the blog, if you're watching on YouTube, you click the link to the blog, you'll see what this looked like. I've got a picture there of the whole scene. And I played around with a couple different things. Initially, I was a little farther away, and you can see also on the blog the first shot I took in this sequence, where the candle on the right is much smaller. I was farther away from it, so the candle is smaller, and the light in the background looks a little different as a result. I wasn't as close, and I think I was using a different aperture. And this photo here was actually the last photo I took. I don't know. I probably took 36 shots or more. And on the blog, I compare the very first photo to the very last photo, which is this one here. This is my favorite of all of them, the final shot I took. And what I actually left and then came back to this composition. I thought I had a good one, a good shot, and then went and like washed my hands or something. And then I realized, you know what? I want to try one more time. And I got really close. This is not cropped. I didn't alter the composition in any way. This is totally as it was. And I shot this at f6.7. I used 180th second shutter speed, ISO 400. And there's almost nothing in focus here, which is really cool. You can see the very tip of the wick is in focus, and then a tiny bit of the wax itself is in focus. And beyond that, everything is out of focus. And I really like that. And what I like, I think most of all about this photo compared to the other photos, is there's this sense of kinetic energy. The flame is tilted to the right, almost like there's a very soft breeze coming in. And in most of the other shots I took, the flame is just straight up. But here, it kind of flows with the wick. And it makes the whole photo more interesting to look at, as if something is happening, as that there's movement going on. And you combine that with the fact that the out of focus candle has this nice oval shape to it. It seems like there's a lot more going on in this photo than there actually is. But it was a cool shot to take because it was totally unexpected. And a few minutes later, the candle had burned down, and the base of the wick was much smaller in compared to the green wax around it. Like it just didn't look the same. The wick almost looks comically large here when compared to the wax because there's not much wax, but after a little while, the wax had burned down and the wick looked more normal size. So everything about this photo it's unique among photos that I've taken, and it's got a sense of scale that's slightly skewed. Like you don't know that there's two candles unless you listen to this and I tell you that there's two candles, and then the wick looks comically oversized or the candle looks comically undersized, and then the flame is tilted to the right. Like there's all these cool things that are taking place aside from the fact that this is uncropped. I was really glad that it worked out like this. This is a really fun shot to take, and it made me think about other photos that I might try to get of candles in the future.